What's going on? It's been a little while. It's been a busy week, but I want to talk about how heroin saved my life. Um, a personal training podcast that I listened to had a couple people on who they have a big recovery YouTube channel, and they talked about this, and you hear this a lot if you kind of listen to people like that. Like, you'll hear people say something like this once in a while, and I totally agree. And if you're kind of confused about like what exactly I mean by that, it's like when you're in it, and you're using hard, and your life is all fucked up, and basically your life sucks and you're miserable. You have these times where it's almost like your only two options are, suicide or doing your drug of choice. And that's kind of what I mean, and what people mean when they say that, like, whatever heroin or meth or whatever it is, whatever like super harmful, dangerous drug it was that they were doing, when they say that saved their life, that's pretty much what they mean. Like, I still have some dark times here and there, but it's really not comparable to how low things get when you're blasting your brain with just all kinds of crazy destructive shit, and your life becomes a mess because of that, and then that kind of digs that mental hole that you're in even deeper, and things get pretty dark from time to time. And yeah, it's kind of, I think somebody that's never been in that situation would probably really struggle to understand like how anybody could say something like this. But yeah, I mean, heroin saved my life multiple times, because I mean, there was even once that even with the heroin, actually, I don't remember if I was in withdrawal at the time, where I actually did make a pretty legitimate attempt. But yeah, like, for me, opiates are like one of the most effective antidepressant, anti-anxiety drugs in existence, and it works right away. As soon as it's in your bloodstream, it makes it not only, obviously opiates are a painkiller. They kill physical pain, but they also numb you to emotional pain. And that's kind of the way that it'll save someone's life when they're in that dark hole and they feel like they only have two options. You're in a spot where you just simply can't handle it, and you feel like you need to either leave or numb yourself. Then numbing yourself is the less self-destructive option of those two. I've said this before, that one of the worst things about opiates for me and for a lot of people is that they'll make you content with mediocrity. They'll make you content with your life being a mess. They'll make you content with, being a loser. Like, not that I would call an individual that word to be insulting, but like, you know what I mean by that. They make you content and okay with circumstances that a person should not be content with, that a normal person would not be content with. And your problems and your issues snowball. Your life continues to get worse, or if it's already as bad as it gets, it just stays as bad as it could get. And but everything's okay because you're numb, and you're happy, maybe not happy, but you're okay, as long as you've got that warm hug from God that opiates will give you. And it's kind of a crazy way to look at things, but honestly, I mean, for me, and I think for a lot of people, it's the truth. It's the truth. But if you are in that position and you feel like there are only two options, the third option is to try to get help somehow, some way, from someone or some organization or some place. And if you don't, if you're broke and jobless and homeless, I mean, in some ways, it's, as long as you're willing, depending on where you are and exactly what your situation is, sometimes it's easier and cheaper, or it won't cost you anything to get that help. You just have to be willing. You have to be willing to take that step and adhere to whatever requirements, said place is gonna want you to stick to. Easier said than done, but like I've said, I've been there, and I know in your mind it seems like those are the only two options, but there's always at least one more option. But with that, hope this video helps somebody, and catch you on the next one.